Thomas Wiebernight with Head CRM, and I'm sitting here with Praval Singh, Vice President for Customer Experience at Zoho, which begs one very simple question. What the heck is customer experience in your terms?
Sure. First of all, thank you, Thomas, for having me here. I know it's a term that gets used very often, sometimes abused.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, personally, and for us at Zoho, it's something that you deliver to a customer, oftentimes without even her realizing it. And for example, someone comes to your store or your website looking for something, and she ends up evaluating a few things or the options that you have, and ends up buying it. A few weeks later, she may have some challenge using the product or something, which is out to you again through some channel. It could be social media, it could be email, could be the fact that she picks up the phone and calls you. All of these are touch points to define what she thinks about you as a company, as a brand, as a product. And I think a lot of that is what gets summarized as, what would she talk about you when you're not in the room? That's what the experience is all about. And how we address that is obviously using technology, and which is where companies like Zoho play a role. But I think it goes beyond technology. It goes into people and processes and how you look at engaging with the customer across all touch points, sales, marketing, customer service. So that's my definition of how, I don't know what the official definition is, but it doesn't matter.
Is there any?
Yeah, exactly. But essentially, that's what it is.
In my eyes, it often gets confused with engagement, which apparently leads me to asking myself very often, who is in charge of customer experience? I have a very distinct opinion, but which I voice after. Then you can tell me something about where it's off. But how does experience differentiate from engagement? And who is in charge, responsible for customer experience?
Definitely not one person or one team to begin with, because given my role, no matter how hard I try, I cannot really define what our company would give an experience to someone, because there's so many moving parts to it. What we can set out, or team can set out, is a strategy, a framework, maybe some best practices, and but it takes a village to sort of deliver that kind of experience. Sometimes the whole company, everything from the touch points, which would be designed by a designer, built by a programmer, a developer, to the person who gets on a phone call or responds to a chat, to the salesperson who may or may not engage with a prospect. It's everybody put together defining that experience, right? You cannot phrase it in a few words or write it down that, and most customers would not even spell it out. It's something that they feel, not something essentially that they would write. What they would write could be a bad customer service experience, but that's not the entire bit of it. And to your question of what really is engagement, and engagement is one part of the overall experience. The experience sits through multiple layers of software, processes. Sometimes you may have the best tools in the world, but if your response times are quite high, you may not be able to deliver the experience that a customer is expecting of you as a company. So the best of software cannot solve for good customer experience, number one. The other side of it is, oftentimes we look at customer experience and employee experience as disjoint systems or processes. But from what we have learned, talking to customers, setting these things up internally, we see great employee experience enables excellent customer experience. And with that, what I mean is, if you empower your employees with the right set of tools, the right set of authority to sort of engage with customers, take decisions on the fly, all that influences how you deliver the customer experience as a company. And I think we're in a position to say that confidently because we have employee experience platforms and customers for that. We have customer experience platform and customers for that, and they beautifully interplay. And at Zoho, even internally for our customers, we strive to deliver the best of both worlds. And I won't say we've arrived, but we're on that path where we want to see what can we do better to have that employee experience and customer experience confluence to give that delightful experience to a customer that comes on board. Well, we do drop the ball here and there, obviously. When you have, yeah, exactly. When you have over 100 million users, all of us have bad days, but we want to continue to strive and deliver something that we strongly believe in. And like I said, tools is not the problem for us anymore. We have the tools that we use. We have them for our customers to use. It's about how do we fill the gaps? What are the other areas of customer experience that we think we can do better? And mind you, it doesn't even restrict to virtual. It extends to physical interactions like these as well. We do something called Zoholics around the world, which is our annual user conferences across different regions. There's some thank you. There's some very interesting stories that have come out of that, where we have customers come in, meet our product teams, our leadership, get their questions answered. You wonder, does it elevate customer experience? Yes, it does. Did it really take a product to do that? Maybe not. It's a physical setting, right?
Yeah.
But what the product then does is it kind of brings in the information together to be able to see how CX is impacting our business. For example, in case of our user conferences, we keep track of how many of our customers come to the event. What do they do after the event? Do they sign up for a new product at Zoho? Do they upgrade a license at Zoho? Or do they reach out to somebody to schedule a one-on-one call after they join the event? So tools help us align this better. But a tool can't create a better experience for any vendor or a business.
That's where I come with my opinion.
Would love
so
to hear
what I do think is that in any setting, you and I, for example, I don't deliver an experience. I offer an engagement that you take up one way or the other or not. And the way you take it up has also something to do with, different cultural backgrounds. So I can make a funny comment that in your background probably is less than funny, offensive.
Absolutely.
Or you might have poor sleep, lots of travel, whatever. So this results to you or in you having an experience, which wasn't, first of all, intended.
Intentional, yeah.
It wasn't intended by me. Second, not even delivered. It's perceived.
Yes.
So this means to me that the only one that is in charge of customer experience is the customer themselves. The only thing that I as a business, for example, engaging with someone, have sort of under control, half of it at least, is the engagement process. So I can engage with the objective that you have an experience, which you may or may not have. Take me as an example. Got 3 kids. They love Disney. And I love to get out of Disney parks. Just get away. So they claim to deliver an experience, but they don't.
Not for you.
They engage.
Yeah.
So how comes that that I'm that much off? No, I don't believe that I'm that much off, but that these terms got so intertwined or falsely used even. And what can be done to improve? It's also a perception game.
No, you're right. What may be a positive experience for you trying to deliver may not be perceived the same way because there are nuances, like you said, cultural,
day by day,
regional, all of that.
Day by day.
Yeah, absolutely. Day by day, yeah. You and I may be a different person and different mood at least, a week from now, depending on how the previous night was, for example. Right? That doesn't make the tool or the process or the company bad or good.
No.
Right? I understand that. I think when this started, the whole idea of delivering experience, it first started with people confusing customer service with customer experience. Where they were looking at And customer service is essentially something which is post-sales. You've bought a product or service, you're reaching out to the company to sort of get a sense of, or something is not working, I need help. But that's pure play customer service. Right? Experience was defined more as multiple touch points before and after. But that nuance of what we're talking about right now, I don't think it's captured in fact, even in the very definition of it, if at all there is one.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, these are the nuances that you live with. And as a company, you find these. If you find a pattern in a nuance that is affecting the experience you're trying to deliver, you try to fix for that pattern. But unless there is a pattern, it's very hard to detect an anomaly and fix that, because a reason for a bad experience could be A today, but it could be B or C some other day. But if you see a reason A repeating across customers or across some kind of a day of the week or something like that, there's a way to address it. But if not, you live with it. You try to identify, you see a pattern. But if you don't get it, you don't get it.
You said a couple of times, you said pattern, you said anomaly, which cries AI. What do you think is the role in AI in engaging successfully in terms of you have a good experience?
I think
is it a silver bullet, or is it just a tool in the toolbox, or doesn't help at all? Well, I don't believe that, so scratch it, basically. But in how far is it helpful, and when does it start to become helpful?
No, I mean, I would not dismiss the idea of AI playing a role in improving experience. So the best minds in the world today are on that problem. All of us know that. That includes folks at Zoho and outside. And there's some well-identified, clear use cases where AI is already helping companies deliver on that experience. It could be letting a salesperson know when is the best time to call someone. Right?
Simple thing, yeah.
Simple thing, straightforward, is already in the works. It's happening. Or helping a support representative with the right answer. It could be pulled from a knowledge base, or it could be intelligence based on the previous experience of the customer. But whatever it takes, AI can prompt the touch point, which is a support rep in this case, to have a better answer to a question that comes in, right? But what we're talking about, the nuance of it, which is where the next gen of the AI would have to learn the pattern that we're talking about, and then not just have the insight, but make inferences from it. And we'll have to see how accurate and how valuable that is. But I think we're talking about, there are a few unknowns in that path as of now. But AI truly has that potential. And one thing that I strongly feel is, there's a lot of hype, obviously, about Gen AI, and it works reasonably well in a consumer setting, I would say. If you and I were doing some research, look in for some answers there. But where Gen AI lacks, at least today, is having that business context. We discussed that yesterday as well, one of the presentations, where we said, it's not the Gen AI alone, it's how do you get that contextual information from your business? Because every business is unique. If an AI layer can sit on top of your data, your business processes, people, all of that, and it doesn't have to be a large language model. It could be a small or medium, but well built, focused on your business. I think that could be a lot more useful for a business, and that extends to more than just customer experience. But since we're talking about CX, definitely that's the role that I see AI playing. And at least that's the way we're looking at putting our AI initiatives, efforts when it comes to AI.
For the sake of time, because I got a gazillion more topics that I'd love to dive into, let me phrase something that I sometimes dub as a famous last words question. Not that I want to terminate you, but
go ahead.
Where do you see CX evolve into, let's say, in 5 years? What does it look like then? as opposed to now?
I think it's already happening, but if we extend that to 5 years from now, this whole idea of duct taping different products to make something deliver, I think more and more companies are realizing that that phase is behind us. So unification over integration is what delivers the best of context. It brings in the best of context, and that in turn delivers the best of experiences. Because what happens is this whole idea of integrating things to sort of A talking to B and then C and D playing a role there, it's not that smooth. It's duct taping at best, like I said. What I see, and CX platforms will gather a lot of signals from, like I said, from events to online activity on your website or your email, your chat, your social media. All that is bringing in signals into a system which will be a single source of truth. And when you wrap a layer of AI into that, which is what we're talking about, the nuances, I think that would potentially prepare a company to automate a near human-like experience, at various touch points, if not all. I mean, if you come to an event like this, you're not looking to chat with a bot. You're looking to talk to one of us. So I don't think that's happening, right? But experiences at certain touch points can definitely be elevated better. For a small thing, let's say you fly an airline frequently, they know a lot about you and I. Do they customize or personalize your experience? I don't think so, right? They would still try to upsell you something which you already said no to last 10 times because there's no personalization at all, right? I think some of these things will see a better usage of customer experience platforms and strategies. If you are a frequent flyer, at best, you get a free upgrade or you get an extra bag, but that's pretty straightforward, right? There's nothing beyond it, which actually sometimes makes me wonder that in spite of all the technology, why does a airline or sometimes certain hotels do it, but most don't? If you keep going back to the same hotel, the personalization of it or to the elevation of the customer experience would often be because you know a human being there. Maybe the front office manager or maybe the general manager of the hotel. He or she may step up to do something for you. But it's not system driven. It's not, forget about AI. I think all of these areas will have the potential to sort of deliver better experiences in the next 5 years or so.
Perfect. Thanks a lot for your time and your words.
Thank you so much.
Your insight.
Thank you.
And, well, hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.